everyone. This is Lisa Wozniak from Woz Marketing, and I am honored today to have Chris with me. He's Christopher Calif Herald, and he's based out of New York City. And Christopher has been in the IT field professionally since 2000, spending most of those years mastering Java web development. He's been instrumental in some of the biggest websites online, including SiriusXM, Havaianas, and Jay-Z's Rock Nation, just to name a few. Now, throughout his years as a developer, Chris has seen many clients implement a third-party SEO solution. He has come to realize that these so-called experts knew very little about SEO or even how the web worked. So Christopher has decided to make this his technical expertise and apply it to the world of search engine marketing and optimization, ultimately giving that benefit to companies like yours and private practices as well for our purposes. And the idea was simple: provide the best SEO service possible. So welcome, Chris. We're thrilled to have you with us today.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Well, I know that you have got a wealth of information that our followers are going to be thrilled to get their hands on, and I, for one, am honored to have you with us today. So with that said, if it's okay with you, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So, Chris, let me ask you, I know that you talked a little bit in your bio about your search or your beginning with SEO, but can you tell me a little bit about how you decided on your specialty niche?
Okay, yeah, no problem. Well, I decided on my specialty because I found it less distracting than being a web generalist per se. A lot of web companies want to be your one-stop shop for your web purposes, kind of a turnkey solution. That might work for some people because they totally want to be hands-off. But what I found is that when I did that, I didn't provide the optimal experience for each of those different things that I provided. So if I'm providing if I'm building your website, if I'm doing your pay-per-click, if I'm doing your social media management, and then I'm doing your taxes and mowing your lawn, right? And then, oh yeah, I'll do your SEO too. One of those things are going to go bad, you know? So, and if one of them went bad, it wouldn't be so bad. But what I do one thing, and that's high accountability. And if I don't do that one thing well, I didn't do my job. You see, so I found that when I focused down and I laser focused in on what I had the most interest in and what I did best, which was search engine optimization, is that I provided a premium service for people. And I kind of liken this to bringing your Ferrari to a Ferrari dealership instead of the Honda shop or a general place. You know, you want real performance, and that's what I offer.
That's awesome. You know, I love the fact that you zero in on one thing, and it's something that in my work with private practice owners, I try and emphasize that point over and over and over again. When you try and be all things to all people, you end up being nothing to no one.
Right. Right.
And when you laser focus your niche like you're doing, then you can provide the absolute best service possible, and it ends up paying off so much in the long run. Because that's what people search for, right? When they go to search for somebody, they search for something specific. They don't search in general terms.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, the more specific the search is, the higher the buyer's intent is. So if I'm shopping for example, if I'm shopping for a Louis Vuitton bag online and I type in Louis Vuitton, and that's just the informative general search, I'm just kind of window shopping. But if I type in Louis Vuitton, Upper East Side, I'm most likely going to go outside of my house right now and buy a Louis Vuitton bag. You see, the intent is higher. I'm further along down the process of purchasing process. And it's the same thing applies with practices. So if I'm looking for a dentist or any type of medical profession, and then I apply a geographic modifier like a city or town, then there's high intent there. That means I'm looking for someone immediately, and I need that specialist pretty fast.
I agree with you. I agree with you so much. And I love the fact that you used the fact that locale can be another identifier that narrows it down even further, just as like in the example of a dentist that you mentioned. If you're looking for a dentist that specializes in working with children, you know, you can narrow it down that way as well.
Absolutely.
So no matter what kind of a private practice you have or what kind of a business that you have, you can just narrow that down so far. That's just so fantastic.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, given all of the really great and useful work that you do with SEO, who would you say is your target market?
Oh, well, my target market are businesses that are looking to take their companies to the next level, gain more exposure online. Perhaps they've had their practices for a while now, and maybe they're stuck in kind of the old way of advertising with like Yellow Book or Yellow Pages, and not seeing real results from that. Perhaps a new practice open up and they see that these practices that haven't even been there as long are doing better in the search engines than they are. Only because they've applied these newer techniques such as search engine optimization to be found more readily and more easily. You know, everyone has one of these, right? And they're like supercomputers now. No one's going to a Yellow Book or Yellow Pages to find the dentist or medical profession anymore, medical services anymore. So what I do is I look for people that are kind of on the edge of where they want to be. Perhaps they're on page 3, but they need that extra boost to get on page 1 for that more visibility, higher lead generation, and ultimately more clients. Patients.
So in other words, a private practice or small business owner who has probably gotten started in marketing and they've taken it so far and now they want to reach it up to the next level to be more competitive. Would you say that's a pretty accurate assessment?
Absolutely. And to throw into that, a lot of websites, a lot of practices have a great looking website, but no traffic. And you can have the best looking website, as you know, in the world. And if nobody's there to see it, then what good is it? You know, it's just like a $10,000 business card.
That's fantastic. And that actually leads me right in. The segue was perfect because it leads me right into my next question. Okay. Can you tell us exactly, can you break it all down and tell us what exactly is SEO?
Okay, sure. So Google themselves tell us that the most important factor in SEO is backlinks, basically. So a backlink is a link that's on a website other than yours that points back to your website, right? So this is basically on an atomic level, like the building blocks of SEO. And in that, we build upon things like anchor text, which is the words that are inside that link that point to you, like Boston Dentist, might point to your website. And also things like keywords. These are the keywords that would match anchor text or words on your site that makes it easy for Google to find your site or categorize your site, know what your site is about. So it all boils down to being visible to Google, because that's the #1 search engine, holding over 70% of searches daily. And that's the basic gist of it, is optimizing your website so that it's found more readily by the people searching for your services.
So then why is SEO so important to a private practice owner or to a small business? How does that impact their business?
Sure. So just like we were saying, you can have the best website and the best service. Many of my clients have the best service or has the best product in town, hardware store or a local practice, but not many people know of them. And that's bad. So this is really good for me, because not only if I get them on as a client, as they work with me, that I win for them as their site increases and they gain exposure and visibility. But the public wins because now they know about this great service or good that's available. So it all in turns, the end of the day, new clients, new eyes, new patients, being able to find your site more readily.
Okay. Okay, so we know that SEO makes you more searchable and it makes it easier for people to find you.
Yes.
And a lot of it can be associated with your website, but what kinds of things will impact the SEO?
Okay. So here's a really big thing, and it gets me excited because I love this stuff. If your website's not mobile friendly, oh my God, we even have a term for it. It's called mobile getting. Right? It sounds ominous, right? It's fantastic. It's like a movie. So what happens is if your website's not mobile friendly, you can get like penalized, or your rankings can drop. If you were on the first page, many people have found that their first page rankings, when people search on cell phones, you turn out to be on the third or fourth page. And here's another SEO joke. Where's the best place to hide a dead body? On the second page of Google.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You don't want to be there. So that's one major thing. Another major thing is website speed. If your speed of your website is not optimized, if it's not loading fast per se, especially on mobile, because on mobile we have the patience of like a goldfish. If it's not loading, forget about it. I need it to load in like less than 2 seconds. If it's on mobile, then it's a little more lenient, but overall speed of the page load is super critical and has a lot of effect. And then we can get to like on-page ideas like your keywords and your title and your URL itself and your domain name and all the things on page HTML elements on page as well.
So do things like blogs and social media impact your SEO?
It does. This is what we call a social signal. So social signals they come from when your domain name or your URL is being shared on social media. Someone shares your post, shares your blog. Blogs are great to promote your domain authority. So it increases the authority of your domain because Google sees like, these guys are active in their community, they're blogging and posting, and then it boosts that up by being shared in the community. So it gives your site more authority and more credibility. So I encourage all my medical practices to have a blogger, maybe an intern, if not yourself, have someone blog daily about something that's important to you in your industry and your clientele and your patients.
Fantastic. You mentioned a little bit ago about keywords. Can you kind of describe for us what a keyword is and why it matters to your SEO?
Okay, perfect. So I live daily in the world of keywords, right? So a keyword is kind of what we touched on before. One example would be a Boston dentist. And then we can, they're basically a word or combination of words that people would search for inside of Google or any search engine. So what you want to do is be optimized for the keywords of the service that most likely your clientele will be searching for. If you have a plumbing service and you offer 24-hour service, people might be typing in emergency plumbing Manhattan. And that's very specific, right? It's a lower search volume, meaning fewer people are searching for it, but the intent is higher. The shopping purchase intent is higher. I need this. I have a leak, my bathroom's overflowing, or my hot water heater just burst. I need help right now. So whomever is on the top of that search, especially on mobile, they won. That's it. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, that guy, he lost. Forget about the second page. So that's why it's important. You're literally taking clients from other people when you're prominent in the search for your specific keywords.
And I think with regard to private practice owners, you know, going back to different things that they specialize in, like we use the example of the dentist and one that focuses on working with children, you know, when you attach that to the keyword and it brings you up to the top of the Google search engine, not only do you win because you've beat out all of the rest of your competitors, it immediately sets you up as the industry expert in your field.
Right. You are the authority. The public, we the public, depend on Google to present to us the most relevant and authoritative results, right? We're not searching around. Google presents us this result. Oh, wow. Dr. So-and-so, very nearby, 5 stars, phone number icon, boom. That's it. I'm not searching around. I'm not writing a research paper for my university. I just want the most relevant thing. And we depend on Google to present that to us. And that's what they do.
You know, Chris, I could talk to you about this kind of stuff for the rest of the day. It's so interesting, and all of the different ways that these little nuances can impact your business and take you to the top of the list. I just love it, but I don't want to close our time together without giving you the opportunity to talk about an incredible that you have to offer. And I really want folks to hear about that, as well as how they can get a hold of you. Because honestly, if you're in private practice and or a small business and you haven't looked at your SEO yet, you are doing yourself an enormous disservice. So with that said, Chris, if you could talk about the special offers that you have available and how folks could get a hold of you. Okay,
great. Well, I'd just like to point out really quickly that in addition to the SEO, another service that I offer, which is built upon my SEO, is reputation management. Many practices might have some not so favorable results when people search for their practice. I help restore your reputation online, and I do that with my SEO services as well. So a lot of times people, a doctor might have a scam report or a negative report online, and I help remove that from the first page of Google. But let's move along to my special offers. Right now, I will offer for your clientele and people that are watching this video, I will offer a free SEO video analysis. And it's also a competition analysis. So you identify to me what's your top 3 competitors, and I do a competition analysis SEO-wise, and I tell you everything's going on, why they're number 1, and what we can do together to make your company number 1 instead. I'm doing that promotion, as well as a promotion where we set up your social profile. So a lot of people don't have social profiles, or it's not optimized. We SEO optimize your social profiles right now for $20 a profile as a limited time offer, super low. We just want to provide value to your customers and clientele.
That is an amazing offer. Now, how will you know that they're coming from WOZ Marketing? Do they just mention WOZ Marketing to you?
Sure. Just mention WOZ Marketing, and we'll know that you're coming from this video and WOZ Marketing. Okay.
Seriously, folks, if you have not optimized the SEO for your social media profiles or your website, you are seriously doing a disservice to your private practice or your business. And I strongly encourage anyone who's watching this video to take advantage of that and contact Christopher Calif, Herald. Christopher, how can they get a hold of you? LinkedIn, through your website, your email?
All over the place. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn. Same name, Christopher Calif, Herald. And you can email me directly at ch@heraldsquareseo.com. You can also Google Herald, like Heart the Herald Angel, Herald Square SEO. And of course, I'll be the #1 result for that.
Of course you will.
Yeah.
Christopher, it has been an honor having you here with us today. Folks, that's Christopher Calif, Herald of Herald Square SEO. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your incredibly busy schedule to be with us here today. And folks, this is Lisa Wozniak of Woz Marketing, helping you navigate your yellow brick road.